Okay, note time. Alright, Emma Clueless. Marriage was very important in Regency England due to social standings being a large part of their lives. There was marriage for security, like the Eltons. Once you were married, you were with your partner. Because she was loaded and she had no will to be tied down, Emma had no will to marry. In 20th century America, relationship freedom is noted. Josh's mum and Mel. Along with the carefree nature of relationships, everyone is dating. Along with the looking at the idea of marriage isn't such a big thing. The marriage between Mrs. Gus and Mrs. Hall at the end represents the lack of importance for marriage. Ty and Dee discuss superficial, what the hell? Oh, whatever. Superficial aspects of marriage. However, both the movie and the book are the same on one level, the idea of class contributing to the relationship. Elton, not going with Ty, do you know who my father is an example of some aspects of society have not changed, and those at the top would still rather be with those at the top. The social and cultural contents of both Emma and Clueless. While there are similarities, social status inequality between men and women, there are still some major differences. Cher is given much more freedom than Emma is. Cher goes to school and is able to be alone with boys, which both Emma would not be allowed. Kind of a bummer. It is also acceptable to be single, but in Emma's time it was only acceptable to be single until an eligible bachelor asked her father's permission to marry her. You kind of got screwed over there, but Clueless presents a postmodern setting based in Beverly Hills. We have the world controlled by the media, commercial considerations, Oxyma commercial, worship of materialism, and the worship of the mall rather than the church as sanctuary. Check. I have direction, Josh. Yeah, to the mall. It is a microcosm of contemporary American society. Irony, humor, and satire are used throughout both texts. Emma. Irony is used for the basic human follies. Through these foolishness, she highlights the main themes, heightens her criticism of certain characters, and adding a dash of humor, Emma trying to matchmake, believing she's good at it. Right. This irony helps to keep the understanding and helps her to learn from her faults, maturing as a character. Humor is used in the text. Subtle humor is only seen when the text is closer read. It highlights again human follies and faults. Emma is a text of comedy and etiquette. Austen achieves her humor through the four techniques of exaggeration of personality, juxtaposition of the character's beliefs, ideas, and values, irony, and the witty characters. Satire. She satirizes the whole aspect of etiquette and notions of society, preoccupation of social status, and social circles. Clueless. Most of the irony comes from Cher's voiceover as it narrates the movie and the visual imagery, e.g. an ordinary teen using a computer to pick out clothes. I mean, I'm a nerd, and I don't even do that. Granted, my wardrobe's probably about 1/10 the size of her walk-in one, but still, whatever. Irony of Emma, and Cher to a lesser extent, being so sure of herself and her own opinions, when, in the end, she finds out that it is her views on people that are actually wrong. Shock, horror. Then we've got irony of Cher living in America in the 20th century. The idea of America being a country of three fought, while consumerism and commercialism actually controls the characters. Shock, horror. Film techniques. The production design. The style, color palettes, location of sets, dressing, props, action vehicles. Like the idea that it's kind of linking between Emma and Clueless through the trees that are used constantly in the mall to link back to the fact that most of them were in Highbury, I believe. It's probably bad that I don't know that and my test is on Monday, but still, it's Highbury and they're like, you would have been out in Regency, England, so you're going to have a lot of trees, you're going to have lots of terrain. It's trying to create the link between both of those. It constantly uses green in the movie, in house, mall, wherever they are. You seem to have a big variety of green. It's to link back between the two texts. Then, for the action vehicles, you've got the Jeep, something to learn in, teaching that just how much consideration goes into what they have at the top tier of society. Wardrobe, hair and makeup. Changing wardrobe throughout the film. What the clothes tell us about the character. You've got, in Emma, you've got Emma, Mr. Knightley, the Eltons, all of them dress like rather well. They've got their good clothes, very top end stuff. Well, and you've got Clueless. Mind blank, that's not good. You got Clueless, and all of them are wearing, well, although it's a lot more skimpy and nowadays based, it's still the very expensive clothing. Again, creating a link between the two, showing that it is those with status that have great clothes, in comparison to, say, the druggers that are on the hill that she points out. You look at them and they're all these baggy clothes that are old, worn. That's the point. Then you got cinematography. You got your lighting, your film stock, your speed, camera angles, movement, framing. The idea that when Ty is being hung over the edge by the boys at the mall, the camera is looking down on her, showing that she really is quite insignificant. She isn't as smart and as powerful as she actually thinks she is. Maybe they'll learn something. Maybe not. I doubt it. Then you've got the music, major themes. Source of music versus score, pop culture music, just basically relating to the times. And editing, the montage and the pacing. The montage and the pacing are probably the two best things. Like, the pacing allows you to see that how fast modernist society is. Each thing goes chop, 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 keeps going along very quickly. Or the montage at the beginning, it basically just shows you, that's it. Their kids do not have normal lives. Like, an Oxyma commercial? Yeah, that's an Oxyma commercial taken to the next level. Yuck. My god. Similarities between Cher and Emma. Both characters are clueless at the start of each story. They live in their ideal world and have little understanding of their ability to hurt people. They are both spoiled and cannot see past the world around them. It is not until the end of each story that the girls learn and transform. Enlightenment after both realize their past desires. Yeah. Dissimilar aspects. Although the moral of the story remains the same in each, it can be noted that there are some key differences. Apart from the obvious that Cher has greater freedom than that of Emma, the moral in school, along with some of the key character differences, Emma is stubborn and ignorant of other characters' opinions, while on the other hand, Cher is just a bimbo. Neither character, however, means harm, but Emma's character is more noted to have a mean streak to her. When she says something, she doesn't just say it and stop there. She likes to keep going ahead with it and really digs into each character. Really not nice. While Cher, on the other hand, if she says something mean, she doesn't generally realize what she's saying. Like, she'll argue with someone, but it's not because she's trying to be mean, it's just a bit more work in the head. Ow. Like I said, she's just a bimbo. Quotes from Clueless. Whenever a boy comes around, you should always have something baking. Indeed. I needed to find sanctuary in a place where I could gather my thoughts. I actually have a way normal life. It boiled down to one inevitable conclusion. I was totally clueless. Except, this time, I would make of my soul. Not gonna happen. Quotes from Emma. Mr. Knightley was one of the few people who could see faults in Emma Woodhouse, and the only one who ever told them of them. You have been no friend to Harriet Smith, Emma. There is one thing, Emma, which a man can always do if he chooses, and that is his duty. It darted through her with the speed of an arrow that Mr. Mr. Knightley must marry no one but herself. Woo! That's all.